Welcome to the Linda Cohn Show, Lewis. It is such an honor to have you. Thanks for doing this.
I'm excited. Thanks for having me.
All right, let's get at it. You know, before your incredible success, and it has been incredible with everything you've accomplished, you were a great athlete. This is a sports show, so I want to bring up your past about how great
Exactly.
and outstanding athlete you were. How much of the person, though, you are today was actually
Mhm.
built through sports?
I think everything was built through sports for me. All the lessons I learned, I struggled in school immensely. And so for me, I was always in the back of the class because I never wanted the teacher to ask me to raise my hand and answer anything because I never knew the answers. Sports was my real outlet to learn about teamwork, to learn about hard work, consistency, setting goals, learning how to deal with challenges and adversities. So for me, sports is my life. It's taught me so much about how to be a better version of myself and how to really navigate challenging times and pressure. And it's how I've been able to translate everything I learned from sports into the business world and into life.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I would say, and what do you tell athletes? What is the one big advantage that you believe, Lewis, that athletes have when they enter the business world?
One of the hardest things in the business world is seeing the future,
Mm,
seeing where the ball is going to be in the
right.
future. And a lot of people are uncertain about the future. And one of the talents that I developed through sports was knowing where to be, where the ball was going to be, and learning how to be there. Um, and it was just, I think it's Messi does this best. I think he's like the athlete that runs the least. He's kind of just scanning the field and he just knows when to hit the gap, where the ball is going to be, or how it's going to bounce off. When I had Dennis Rodman on, he wasn't the greatest athlete, but he just could know when the ball was, how it was shot, the arc, where it was going to bounce off, and he knew how to be there. So I think it's learning how to see things that other people cannot see through that repetition and the ability to just be so consistent in showing up. When you show up to practice every single day and you're tired and you're hurt and you don't want to be there sometimes, if you can do that in the business world as well, you're just so much farther along than so many people, even if you don't have the skills in business.
Everything you just said remind me of two goats, greatest of all time. Wayne Gretzky always talked about the anticipation of his game. He wasn't a big guy. He was thin. He was a string bean, but
Mhm.
he pulled up and had all this great offensive production because he anticipated where a player was going to be, where the puck was going to be. And then
Yeah,
you bring up the latter part, Lewis. I think of Tom Brady. He just made a comment recently about he doesn't understand why players don't see the importance of preseason football, that everyone should be into the repetitions and molding their brain and their DNA to what would happen in a real game.
exactly.
Mm,
Exactly. So that preparation has really helped me. And I think being consistent, I've done my show for 13 and a half years every single week for the last
yeah.
10 years, 3 times a week. And that is half the battle, I think, is showing up consistently and just being willing to do it, even when I don't want to do it sometimes, or I'm
Yeah.
busy, or I'm tired, or whatever it might be. It's just, how do I keep showing up and trying to get better?
Has your definition of success changed as you got older?
Success for sure. And for me, I don't really think about like trying to be successful. I think about trying to be impactful.
Mm,
And when I'm healthy, when I feel like I'm in harmony with myself and I'm making a difference or I'm making an impact or I'm being of service to other people, I feel like that's for me impactful. Success, I think, is measured more on wins, accomplishments, goals achieved. And those are fun, those are fun to have, and I like to chase those things. But for me, it's more measuring around impact, making a difference. Are we actually contributing to people in life versus only succeeding for myself to look good?
you've talked about it, Lewis, that sports teaches us a tremendous amount. You know it. I know it as well. But what is something sports actually did not teach you that you had to learn the hard way?
Oh, learning how to heal my heart.
Mm,
In sports, I think, I grew up in the 80s and the 90s playing sports. And there's never a lot of, hey, if you're going through a hard time at practice, it's okay. Just sit here and let's talk about our feelings. And it's okay to cry. And, just take a time out and you scraped yourself and, share your feelings. I never had any of that, Linda. It was more about like, get right back up and go punch someone in the face on the football field one more time. It wasn't, oh, you broke a finger, like, cry a little bit. It's okay. And, I think there's a time and a place for everything, but for something I had to learn how to do was once I was done playing football for many years, I didn't know how to turn that switch off and really learn to heal my emotional side of things because I was so used to just grinding and working hard and getting back up when I fell down, which is a great strategy in sports. It's not always the best strategy in intimate relationships. And so I had to learn through different relationships and breakups, not how to say, let me just get right back up there and like grind through this. I had to learn how to heal my emotional side of my heart. And you don't really see a lot of, jock male athletes doing that or talking about that. So it didn't feel safe for me to explore that until I really learned that like, oh, my life is going to suffer unless I learn how to navigate my inner world of emotions while still being a productive human being in the external world. And that's something I had to learn the hard way. The sports didn't necessarily teach me. I had to learn that through therapy and having coaches and mentors guiding me after sports.
I love that you shared that because I think little by little, certain athletes, I've seen a little bit of that. They're knowledgeable about it. And maybe that because they hear it from you, Lewis.
Yeah.
You built your life around the idea of greatness. What does greatness really mean to you today?
I really believe greatness is pursuing the unique talents and gifts that are within only uniquely you and pursuing them. And in that pursuit, it's not about actually accomplishing them or making them come true. It's about giving your best, seeing who you can become in that pursuit and making a difference on the people around you while you pursue that journey. And it's something that I've, since I was a kid, I always wanted to be an Olympic athlete.
Right.
And in 2008, after I was done playing arena football, I got injured. I broke my wrist and I was done. I was sleeping on my sister's couch for a year and a half, kind of depressed, going through transition. What do I do with my life now? Do I mean anything? Do I matter? Can I make a difference in sports? I saw in the 2008 Olympics for the first time ever, team handball at about 2 or 3 a.m. And I was just like, a new dream emerged inside of my soul. And I said, this was the sport that I was meant to pursue. And for the last 18 years, I've been pursuing this sport, Linda, where a couple of years after that, I moved to New York City. I started practicing with the New York City handball team. I made the USA national team a year after that. And for about a decade, I was playing with the national team, traveling the world in the pursuit of the Olympics. And for me, this is part of my answer of greatness, because I have not accomplished my dream of being an Olympian yet. But in 2 years in Los Angeles, right down the street from me, is the 2028 Olympics. And it'll be a 20-year journey from me first visualizing and seeing team handball for the first time to 20 years later, moving around the country, going around the world, playing, strategizing, improving myself as an athlete in my 30s, now in my early 40s, to pursue an Olympic dream. Whether I accomplish this goal or not is not what it's really about. It's not for me, greatness actually going and accomplishing and winning some medal. But for me, it's who I've learned about myself. The people that I've got to meet and build relationships over the last current 18-year journey of this now is life-changing. And the challenges I've had to overcome in this pursuit has just made me a better human being. So the greatness is really about pursuing the uniqueness within you, and the thing that's calling you forth, the thing that is saying, keep going. What is this thing? Go for it. You got this. Actually doing it and making a difference on the people around you during that journey. It's not about the accomplishments or the failures or the success. It's about how you show up for others and yourself in that pursuit.
It's words like that that are so inspirational, Lewis. And, you just answered one of my questions because I was going to ask you if the football career actually worked out and you didn't hurt your wrist and you didn't have to give it up. would you
Yeah.
be all that you are today? And would you have
Gosh.
met all that you have today and all that accomplished everything that you've had today if that football career did work out?
Mm. You know, there is a part of me that grieved when, I didn't make it to the NFL, and that was like this long-term dream of mine, right? There was like this, I threw everything into it and I didn't make it. And part of me grieved. And there's probably a still part of me that has this grief that's like, what would my life would have been like? But I tell you what, Linda, I just had twin girls 10 months
Yes.
ago.
Yes.
I'm married to the most incredible woman who brings me so much joy and peace, that wants me to pursue my dreams.
Nice.
I've got this incredible team with the School of Greatness where we get to make a difference on stuff that's meaningful for me and for all of us. And I probably wouldn't have created any of this had that challenge and adversity not happened in my life. And so I get to also create meaning in the mess or the challenges. And I could also grieve something not happening and be really grateful for it not happening at the same time. And I'm just accepting my life, choosing to continue to go all in, even though it's not what I originally designed or wanted. And I feel like it could be even better where I'm at now.
How has a dad changed? You're a dad now, right? How has that
Man,
changed how you look at life now?
it's so special. And, I'm 43 years young,
Yep.
super healthy, and I have 10-month-old twin girls. And it's like the greatest gift that I could have ever received. It's the greatest, no, championship or becoming a pro athlete or going to the Olympics will ever amount to the gift of getting to wake up and look my girls in the eyes and see them smile. It's a miracle, and it's a beautiful gift. And I'm so grateful and blessed that I get to be their father.
So happy for you. What's next for you? What's next on the Lewis House planning committee?
What's next, Linda, is always what's now. And I
Okay.
have a vision for my goals and my dreams. The Olympics 2028 are around the corner. It's going to happen like this. That is what's next, but it's always thinking about what can I do today, right now, to show up fully, to show up present, and to give my best in this moment, because I cannot control the future. I cannot control whether I am on the Olympic team or not, whether I'm healthy or not. I can't control what happens in the future, but I can control how I show up with you right now. I can control how I show up with my team in a moment, with my wife, with my kids, how I take care of my health, and how I respond to challenges. And for me, that's what I try to focus on most, is how to be as present as possible right now and give my best in every moment.
Love it. We wish you the best on this team handball. I wouldn't have been locked in, but now I'm going to mark it
Let's
down.
go, Linda.
Boom. I might have to go in person. I
You
mean, I
got to
gotta
come. If I'm at the Olympics, Linda, if I'm playing with
I'm
Team
there.
USA, you better be there.
Hook me up. Hook me up. I want
Let's
to go as a
go.
fan so I can cheer for you.
I got you.
All right, Lewis. Thank you so much. This was so great. Obviously inspirational. Every time you open your mouth or I read a word of yours, it just starts my day off perfectly and ends my night even more so. So thank you for being you. And it's so great to call you a friend.
I appreciate it, Linda. Thanks so much.